My channel. My name is Monette, and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, I'm a professional intuitive empath. Today we're going to talk about the sweetest mango. I literally just had it. I get inspiration from all over the place and at different times in my life, but I almost couldn't wait to get on here and talk to you. And I've got a client coming up, so I'm going to monitor my time, but I almost couldn't wait to get on here and talk to you about it. I was eating it and thinking about the message that I was getting downloaded with. Growing up in Antigua for a little bit, I lived in Antigua, my mother's country, for a little bit while she was figuring out the throes of a marriage and getting out of that. And she was going through a divorce. And so she sent me home. So I lived in that country when I was younger for a bit, but we would visit and go back home periodically. And so the best fruit, the best tropical fruit, will be found on a tropical island where it is indigenous. And I remember eating mango and pineapple there. My mouth is watering thinking about it. And it's so distinctively different than what you get here in the States. It is ripened by the sun. It is so sweet. Sometimes you wonder if it's on the borderline of rotting, but it's not. But it's like the most perfect sweet, and it's creamy for a mango, and it tastes like pineapple, and it tastes like mango, and it tastes like banana, and it tastes like orange. It's this explosion of tropicalities all in this one delicious thing. Now, the mangoes in my mom's country, you can eat the skin. They're very thin. Even here you could as well. Might make your stomach hurt a little bit. Not that it does it on purpose. It's just, it's a lot of fiber and whatever. So if you want your fiber, you could do that. But I loved the moment when we would get home and we would pick fruit from the trees that grew in my grandmother's backyard. And it was just so amazing. And I live for the moments when mangoes are in season. Throughout the years of my life, I've volleyed with low carb and weight up and down and all of that stuff. But I don't care what diet I'm on. If there's a mango, I'm stopping to have it because that to me is my favorite fruit, and it reminds me of home in every way. I can't imagine a life without a mango. Now, I want you to understand with mangoes that it's a roll of the dice. Yes, it is a roll of the dice. You will sometimes get a mango that is so crunchy you can make it into a salsa. It has the consistency of a cucumber, even a tougher cucumber, and it's tart and it's not sweet and it's almost bitter. And I would add salt and lime juice and toss that in with some other fruit or other vegetables and make it a salsa as such. You can have a mango that is just ripe and it's like sort of sweet, and you start to get the creaminess, and the knife will just press through the flesh. And then there is the sweetest mango, or when you just pierce it with your paring knife, it immediately inserts itself, slices like a hot knife through butter, and you can smell the fruit before you cut it. That is the sweetest mango. Well, I just had, for this season, for this year, the sweetest mango. Why are we talking about fruit, Monette? Well, you know, my angels are always busy. They said the collective needs to hear this, especially because a lot of us have come out of these hermit stages in love. Love, Monette? Absolutely. Love. And the thing about the sweetest mango is it is a roll of the dice. Very akin to you will kiss a few frogs. So all of us have kissed a few frogs. If you're here on this channel, we have not had love do for us what we thought it should. And some of us have exactly found ourselves in love that we thought we should, or in new connections and relationships, established ones. Some of us have fears about ever getting into them again, if they're ever suited for us, because we're now reconfiguring and thinking and recalibrating what a relationship is from the ground up. There is a new level of information. There is a new wave of feminism. It's fourth wave. Don't know if it's new, but if you've got your ears tuned to the street, you're listening. We are decentering all of the things that have to do, if you're dealing in heterosexual relationships around men, but even if you're not, we're centering our pleasure. We are doing that. The sweetest mango was communicating to me as I was devouring it, because again, it is a luck of the draw. Just because maybe a month ago I got a batch of mangoes and they were the crunchy kind that you could turn into salsa. They never ripened, no matter how much I left them on the counter. Now, these were just purchased a couple days ago when I got back in the country. So they've only been sitting on the counter for literally 2 days. And they were absolutely ready to be eaten. In fact, they were at the point of being so ripe, the one that I had today just a few minutes ago, that the seed, closer to the seed, I could tell the very beginning stages of fermentation, which isn't bad. It's delicious. But it is to know that if it sat there for another day or so, it would have started to turn. And then it would get so mushy and so pulpy and so mealy that it wouldn't be enjoyable. But today, in its state, it was absolute perfection. I was transported back to my mother's country. I was immediately a child again. And my craving for this year has been absolutely sated and quenched. I just had the sweetest mango. They asked me to parallel that to you regarding love. You will get the crunchy mangoes. You will get the ones that are overripe. Very much Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And then, somehow, by some miraculous feat, the universe, God of wonders, the creator, has made this beautiful thing, this beautiful yoni seed, goddess of wonders, this beautiful yoni seed, this thing that has all the sustenance and vitamins and minerals and is absolutely the most delicious thing you could put in your face as far as I'm concerned, coming from a West Indian background. You will have in your life a variety of mangoes, and some of them will not be right for you. And some of them will be the sweetest mango. And they said to tell you guys that the prediction is the sweetest mango will find you. I didn't search too long. I didn't pick up too many. I didn't squeeze and smell. I just put them in my cart because I knew the universe would treat me well. Well, what does that mean, Monette? Did the universe not treat you well when the mangoes were crunchy? That's all part of it. Those experiences with the crunchy mangoes or the overripe mangoes were absolutely necessary for me to have so that I could appreciate the sweetest mango. Those experiences climbing a tree when I was a kid and knocking them down with a stick prepared me to know when a sweet mango is before me. You will have opportunities in your life to have all kinds of fruit, some ripe, some spoiled, some underripe, some that was never meant for you, some that make your mouth itch, as there are some fruits that cause that kind of reaction, some that are literally not for you, and some that will cause you to have the deepest emotional and say it's like kind of a sensory satisfaction. You'll be fully sated is what I heard. Fully sated, fully satiated. They want you to absorb that you have not yet maybe had the sweetest mango, or maybe some of you are coming into that. It was such a poignant thing that I was so enraptured in the moment. And my angels were like, stay present. This is the first food you've had for the day. It's pretty early for me to eat during the day. I usually eat much later. And I would have started out with proteins. But today they said, treat yourself and have this mango. And I did. There will be treats that come to you, collective. There will be nuggets of humans and people that are so delicious and so sweet, and that are for you to not just devour, but for its nourishment, for your soul to eat, is what they're asking me to channel. This is not all about romantic connections, and it's not just about platonic. You will have people of all stripes that come through that can be the sweetest mango for you. But I don't want you to think because you had a few crunchy ones or a few overripe ones that dream for you will not come true. It will. The sweetest mango will find you. And the thing about it is it happens when it's time. And no amount of expertise or squeezing or feeling or smelling or poking is going to let you know that what is in front of you is divine. When you deserve that, and you say deserve, Monette, yes, I want you to feel like you deserve to have something. Because I know what I deserve and I know my worth. And so I know we're talking about a mango, but I'm talking about connections too. That's what manifests the sweetest mango to you. It is luck of the draw. Yes, there's a little bit of synchronicity. There's a little bit of kismet energy. There's a little bit of serendipity. But when you have that, those other experiences that were not ideal let you know that the sweetest mango is in fact real. Give thanks for for the crunchy mangoes. Give thanks for the overripe mangoes. Give thanks for the mealy mangoes. Give thanks for the rotted fruit. Because when it is presented in two hands of abundance to you, you will know exactly what to do. I could do nothing but feast. That was my delight. That was my treat. I was 5, I was 3, I was 23, I was 17. It was every memory, the most beautiful things of family and sunshine and trees and the smell of a tropical garden. It has a smell. And I felt loved from eating that mango. I felt treated well. And they said that you need to juxtapose that to the relationship that will be right for you. It will nourish you in the same ways. It will cause you to reflect on your childhood in better ways than you used to do. It will cause you to look back at your early adulthood. It will cause you to stand in reverence of where you are at currently. And you will have gratitude for the ones that fell prematurely off the tree, for the ones that were crunchy, for the ones that were rotted, for the ones that were not for you. You will be so grateful when the sweetest mango comes through. And so the prediction today, even if it makes no sense for where you stand currently in your life, is that the sweetest mango is on its way to you. So good sharing energy with you guys. Come back and join me next time. We'll continue to evolve together. Oh my gosh, my beautiful Symbala. Why did I think about you before I made this video? I had mangled the mango so much. It's literally sitting on the counter in the kitchen right now on the plate, and I was like, I cannot take a picture of this. Like, I didn't take a picture of it beforehand, and I cannot take a picture of this mango right now because this is a hot mess. What did Cardi say? He's a munch, she's gonna eat it like a mango. Well, I ate it like a mango, and y'all know what that is. Let me explain what that means. Cardi B has a reference in her song where she says, "My guy's a munch." I'm paraphrasing, y'all. She says different words, but she says, "My guy is a munch, and he's gonna eat it like a mango." Now she's talking about. Y'all know what she's talking about. It's YouTube's and we're adults. You know what she's talking about. Because there's a certain sound that is made when you're having a juicy, sweet, delicious mango, right? And so what happens is it will literally run down your hands, and it did. I put on gloves specifically, and I literally put on a shirt that I didn't mind getting messy because mango stains, okay? So that's something that you need to know. Okay, eat up. Symbala says eat up. That's so funny. And it drifts down your hands and down to your elbows. And when you're a kid, it's part of the fun. And, my mom would tell me later, she was like, girl, be careful because mango stains. It'll stain your clothes, whatever. I didn't care. I loved mango so much. So I wanted to eat it up. But anyway, that's why I'm saying, y'all, that this is the way that my angels were working in my mind today. Is I'm sitting here just slurping down this mango and just having the best time. And they said the sweetest mango will be sent to you and it will be divine for whoever and for whatever that means. Maybe someone's going to treat you like the mango. I don't know. I don't know your life. Maybe you're going to have the sweetest mango. Maybe it's just a metaphor for a delicious connection that's coming to you. That's what I felt like it was. But if we want to get a little PG, non-13, 18 plus and rated, that is very specific. It is very specific. For those of you that are ready for a sexual connection, the sweetest mango shall arrive. I'm just saying. I'm gonna get out y'all's business. I'm gonna get out of mine. But that's what I'm telling you. That's so funny, Symbala. I literally thought of you and the story of the mango. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's so funny. That's so funny. That made that synchronicity and telepathy, sis. Synchronicity and telepathy for sure. In any case, guys, pay attention to what's coming before you. This is very Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There is something that is just right for you. It is not a coincidence. There is spiritual work for you inside. Ooh, I love when we get audible confirmations. There is spiritual work for you to do inside of relationship. A lot of us spend a lot of time in our hermit stage. I love it for us, but what happens on the other side of it? And I'm integral and honest to walk you through what that looks like. I have some more videos coming up here for you. I've been writing down as I'm supposed to. Come on, Mango. Come on, Miss Symbala. I love it. I have some other stuff coming up. One of the videos that I'm just going to drop this in your ear, because as we're moving into connections where we heal inside of them instead of windmill and fight inside of them like we're used to, or stay away or keep our distance or stay cool and hermited, the thing that came to me yesterday was this: is it your insecurities or your intuition? That's a whole sermon, sis. Is it your insecurities or your intuition? Now, I never will walk you guys through something that I'm not working through. And I have been challenged very much to ask myself, as connections and humans and people and experiences come close to me, what I'm triggered by. Am I listening and being careful, or am I acting out of PTSD? Come on, that's a sermon, right? Because if you are to heal in new relationships, that's something you need to have clarity about. Is it your insecurity or your intuition? And my angels have convicted me. And what I mean by convicted is they have brought it to my attention that out of an abundance of self-protection that I could push away absolute real connections and sweet mangoes. Make sense? That part. So pay attention to that. That'll be coming up today. I'm going to get that out because it's all in my soul. And then the other thing that they asked me to channel for you guys today is regarding the ricochet that happens when you enable. When we are enabling people, just a quick purview of this, when we're enabling people from our past narcissistic relationships or toxic dynamics, we're doing all of the legwork for them. And they showed me nitrogen. What is it? It's nitrogen. It's a compound, and it freezes things. They were showing me stretched rubber bands. And as I was watching this random short, a scientific short, they said that's what you empaths have done to those toxic connections. And I said, why are you talking to us? They're toxic. And they said, no, you need to teach this to the collective. You guys let them be stretched and then put them immersed in your liquids of energies that you're able to manage things with. And then you ask them to function in the world. But any relationship worth having is a relationship in which they need to be working for you too. There needs to be reciprocity, because let me tell you something, when there's heavy lifting to do, we are not always equipped. I had a situation recently, and I'll speak about that. When I say I'll speak about it, what I mean is that I want you to understand this is where the example comes from, because I'm always learning here, and that's why I teach. But where someone had to do the work that I do usually, they held me accountable to do the work that I do usually. And I'm so fucking grateful that they did. But I've never been in a connection previously where someone was able to do what that person did. I usually am the one who comes in and says, let's clean this up. And I had shut down because of those triggers. Make sense? The same triggers we all have from being with people where we're like, are they trying to get me? Do I need to protect? Am I windmilling? Do I need to grease down my earrings? Do I need to take down my earrings? Do I need to put my hair up? Emotionally speaking, what's happening here? And in that moment, because I did not emotionally enable, that person was able to stand in and do the work that I would normally do and hold me accountable to do communication and all the things that come naturally for me. But after we go through those dark nights of the soul, those natural tendencies atrophy. Make sense, guys? And we're no longer as flexible and malleable as we once were. We're now the rubber band and the nitrogen. And we are frozen. But what happens is when we enable people to not do their work, when we release them, instead of them bending and stretching, it ricochets. And they ricochet back to the worst in themselves. I'll elaborate in in another video. Oh, I just even burped up the sweetest mango. This is so, it's good, it's good coming up as it was going down. That's disgusting. But it's the truth. That's what happens. Well, a good relationship, even the parts that aren't just consumption and deliciousness, the parts that are work, will be even sweet to you. And none of us really have got, well, I would say a lot of us have not got that experience because we're still out in our cold spaces, in our hermited spaces, and removed. But I'm telling you, I love love, and that's why they put me here. I counsel so many of you guys that don't always feel that way, and that's okay, because I will feel it for you until I can get you there. I had a client recently, one that I met here on the YouTube. So I'm going to say shout out to you, sweetie. You know who you are. And we worked together doing narcissistic coaching. Hey, Sunflower Goddess. We worked together doing narcissistic coaching. And she came in and she was dealing with somebody who was super toxic. And I was able to identify that. She knew what it was too. She came to me for a reason. We did the coaching. We worked together really solidly for about a year. And she got out of the relationship and she cut off other connections in her life and she did other things. And she recently reached out to me and asked me to let me know that she was getting married and asked me if I would do the honors of officiating. I love the confirmation of officiating her wedding. There is hope and there is redemption and there is other relationship. When I met her maybe a year and a half ago, she was in a toxic spiritual warfare dynamic that caused real paranormal activity and spiritual warfare around her, that caused women to gang stalk her and for her to be treated terribly and gaslit by the narcissist. And now she's proposed to by a healthy person, and she didn't move on quickly. She moved on timely. She found her sweetest mango. It is possible. So many of you guys come to me and you're not in that stage, but she was hermited and she was hid away and she hated everyone and everything and she was terrified and she was creeped out like we all have been, but there is hope. That is my greatest joy. That's why I honor the vibration that I come in as a Leo sun, ruled by the fifth house. I rule creativity and romance and connections and great dates. And even if I'm not having them, I want you. Come on, God bless it. I want you to have them. Come on, confirmation. I will walk you through that. It's what I do. I will imbue you with the energy that flows through me because we all deserve the sweetest mango, actually. Every single one of us. And here's what I do know that my angels have downloaded to me so clearly. We heal inside of relationships, just like we were hurt inside of them. And it's not the person that hurts you that's going to heal you. You release them, you do that work, but you do welcome in someone who knows your worth. But you know who has to know it first? You. You have to be your own sweetest mango. And so, my sweet, beautiful mangoes, you all have work to do. But I promise you, if you would like love, that dream is not just a dream. It is a manifested, aligned destiny that will come true. So good sharing energy with you again. Come back and join me next time. If you have mangoes, bring those. If you got gloves, wear them. If you want to just use a tea towel or some napkins or some paper towel, do that. But I promise you, if you're in this collective, love will not just be a monkey on your back. It will be a place you inhabit. It will be a space you create. And it will be with people that you want to heal with. You will manifest your right tribe, whether it's platonic or romantic, people that know your vibe, and you will have sweet mangoes that are by your side. And I wish nothing but the sweetest mangoes for you in every way. Come back and join me next time, guys. We'll continue to evolve together.